Nah, bro, do you think they ready? Bro, I don't think they ready, bro. You honestly think they're ready? You sure? Should I show them? You think I should show them? Alright, I guess I'll show them. I'm gonna show them. Y'all ready? I don't think y'all ready. That's the thing. I don't think y'all ready. Give me a countdown. I don't think y'all ready. 3, 2, 1, stop. Look at the cut. Look at the. Yo, any fashion companies trying to hit me up to do some work, yo. My email is in the description below. RPG games. You might hate it, you might love it, but you definitely know it. And there's been a bunch of RPG games throughout the time of history and whatnot. Top 3 I could probably think of the top of my head: Skyrim, Bethesda's whole game collection at this point, Souls-like games, and Witcher. I don't know if you really count that as RPG. In a world where there's so much RPG games, you would think the industry is oversaturated and just lacks a bunch of originality and just isn't as fun anymore. But what if I told you there's an RPG game that I'm almost certain you don't know of, with great reviews, great game mechanics, great visuals, a huge open world map, and even a story mode? Now you might think it's a little crazy, right? I know you might be like, what? A Souls-like with a huge open map, great features, a story mode, great visuals? No, this dude is crazy. You can only have like a couple of those. You can't have all of them. It's crazy. Well, let me tell you about a game known as KingCome Deliverance. And I know what y'all thinking. Kingdom Come, is that a mobile game? Is that like Raid Shadow Legends? No! Get up out of here with that blasphemy, my boy. This, my friend, is a hardcore, historically accurate, open world RPG game from the company Warhouse Studio. 2. I'm mostly gonna talk about 2. 1 is an amazing game as well, but it's a little bit outdated, and I feel like if you really want to get into this, especially now, it's probably best you just go to 2, because the game is like a continuation of 1, but you don't really need to play 1 to understand 2. Now I played 1, I didn't finish it, but I hopped into 2 and I could tell that, like, first of all, they do recaps for part 2. Again, you don't really need 1, and like it's a whole kind of different story on its own, but still being in the same story. The first one dropped around 2018, and trust me when I say it's a breath of fresh air. I'm gonna just touch on some features that this game has if you're not already slightly interested. The multi-layer clothing system. The logic is you're not just putting on armor, right? This ain't Minecraft. You get a diamond helmet, diamond chest plate, and you're good. No, you gotta put on a shirt under your armor, a hat under your hat. From you putting on socks and whatnot, you putting on padded stuff. So it's not the stereotypical, oh, you find the armor from a dead person's body, you put it on, and you call it a day. No. 2, you can get dirty in this game. A lot. And being dirty doesn't just, oh, your looks is messed up. No. It plays a lot. First of all, if you're sneaking around enemies, they could smell your scent. So if you're really dirty, they could smell it, and it throws off your whole stealth.
Mother of, eh? This place is off limits to you.
So you wash up a lot, buddy. Watch that ass. Some people might not want to have conversations with you, or your conversations dialogue might be different due to your like look if you're dirty, which is very impressive. I don't think there's really much games that do things like that, and I like stuff like that. Stealth isn't just crouch and become invisible, or crouch in the most shallow bush ever and the motherfuckers will walk by you while literally staring at you, don't do nothing. It's actually based on 3 distinct stats: visibility, conspicuity, and noise. Let's start up with noise. When play armor makes it sound like it's 3 a.m. and you trying to microwave something. You're not gonna be able to really sneak in it. You'd have to strip down to dark fabrics and saw off the boot. Conspicuity, this determines how much you stand out. Back to me saying, if you smell like bounce that ass, they gonna smell you out. Now, if you're wearing bright fancy Noble's clothes in a dark alleyway, what you think is gonna happen, James Charles? People will spot you instantly, even though you're in the shadows. And visibility kind of just ties into both of those. It's just how visible you are, how hidden you are, you know, common sense. Also, back to the armor thing, it doesn't just affect like the damage you take, it also affects your charisma. You know, if you have a messy armor that is damn near broken, your charisma isn't gonna be as high as if you have a fully fitted strong armor. You look strongest, and it helps with dialogue. Again, dialogue is huge in this game. Like, there's over 1,000 dialogues with different NPCs. There's certain dialogues you can get if you have a certain amount of like charisma or strength or stuff like that. You know, you're able to get away with certain stuff. Alchemy and crafting. I did get to do the alchemy a little bit, and I was crafting, and it was very impressive. Now I feel like that might get repetitive in the future. I don't know yet. You're able to make the potions, like you gotta brew it, it's just a bunch of in-depth like it's really in depth and it's really realistic. I think it gets to a point where people might be turned off if they just want like an easy going game, right? This is a game like, it's not like try hard like Souls like game. It's a game like, I would call it like Minecraft cranked times 30. Like it's really in depth, like really in depth. Like you have to really like, it's stuff that you wouldn't even think of at the moment, but when you see, you like, damn, they actually added that. That's fire. Like it's just that in depth. Let's talk about the NPCs. Every NPC in the world has a 24-hour cycle. They have a routine. They wake up, eat, go to work, farmers go to the field, shopkeepers open their stalls. Like for example, if a shopkeeper is giving you troubles or you just don't like the way they staring at you, you can follow them home and wait till they sleep and rob they at. The AI for the NPCs is expanded humongously from the first one. The first one was really impressive too, especially for a game released in 2018. Well, Red Dead Redemption was released around that time too, but I'm just saying the first one was really impressive and they expanded massively in the second one. Thousands of NPCs with unique dialogues and they have unique reactions to your crimes. They remember stuff. Like for example, if you robbed the NPC, like let's say the dude from earlier that you didn't like the way he was looking at, you robbed his ass. If you put on the outfit that you robbed from them and you walk past them, they will recognize like, hey, that's my outfit. What the hell? Like why you have my fit on? Like I had that shit on, not you. You know, your reputation matters too. Like you get treated differently with however reputation you have. Talk about the skill base. If you open a book early on, the letters are like visibly scrambled because you can't read, obviously. Like it's just a bunch of unreadable gibberish. So you have to find scrambles in other towns, pay for lessons and lectures, spend in-game hours reading to slowly see the letters settle into actual words, which is very cool. Like I like that idea. Again, like this game might not be for everybody and I get that, but I feel like if you give it time and chance, you will love it, and I promise you. First person combat physics, this is the part that I think turns off a lot of people, but for me, it turned me on.
Hey yo, what the
Oh wait, zone targeting. You don't just press R2 and square and R1 and just do combat moves.
I did it without taking damage. I'm the freaking god.
There's different options. So left, you can hit the, if you swipe left while you press your button, you can hit the left side of their body, or if you swipe right, you can hit the right. There's top, there's bottom, and it's not just like, oh, you can just do that. You also have to shield to the appropriate angle. So if, for example, if your enemy is holding to the right, you have to also shield to that angle. Like you got to get ready to, you know, protect yourself and defend. I'm not gonna lie, it makes 1v2s or 1v3s incredibly terrifying. Like I found myself just having to switch over and like, yo bro, yo, I can only take one at a time, buddy. Please. Sometimes running away is probably just your best strategy, if I'm being honest. The combat is very tricky and it's probably one of the toughest parts of this game. And if you're not willing to, you know, if you're not patient and willing to actually understand it, it might turn you off instantly and you just might not want to play the game, go further. But I think if you really give it the chance to, you will love it. Because at first I was like, damn, it's gonna be tough, but when I got used to it, it actually made me feel better. When I'm actually like defending people, I'm actually feeling like I'm in the game itself. Like it's just very immersive and fun. And honestly, also side note, I feel like if this game was to go to VR, like let's say Oculus 3, this might genuinely be the greatest VR game ever, because the game already feels like a virtual reality world. Like if it's so immersive, like, you know, in first person, like you can see your whole body parts. It feels like you're already in VR. I feel like if they really wanted to try to put this game into VR, it would be amazing. I don't know if it's possible because it's just how huge the game is, but I really wish they attempt something like that in the future. So if your enemy has like a strong armor plate but no helmet on, a single well placed arrow to the head or sword to the face will kill them instantly, regardless of their level. And with the sequel, the second one, they've added stuff like crossbow and guns, which deal a lot more damage. Might be slower, but deal a huge amount of damage. Survival and metabolism. Freshness. Food rots in your inventory, and if you eat something like a spoiled apple, you're gonna get food poison. So this is where, like, you know, when I say it might be too realistic in some parts, like I could see how that gets annoying, but again, it's like in real life, will you really eat a rotten apple? I mean, come on, if you ain't gonna do it in real life, don't do it in the video. Sleep, hunger, these aren't just bars to fill up. They actually affect you, like affect your recovery time, affect your stamina. Like these are stuff that actually matters. It's not just, oh, I'm hungry. No, it actually, like, you actually have to like heal your wounds and eat food and replenish yourself. Also, if you fast travel, you get tired, you also lose some hunger and whatnot. One thing which low-key pissed me off in the game, but I've kind of learned to just be content with it, the saving. Now I'm the type of person, the reason why it pissed me off mostly is because I'm the type of person in a video game, if I'm able to save and like it saves the exact moment, moment, best believe my file is gonna be filled with a bunch of save files. Like, cause I just like to have a perfect run, which is kind of, lame of me, some would say, but that's just how I like gaming sometimes. It might be repetitive and annoying, but shoot, I like to do that. But this game definitely tests people like me a lot because you can't just save every second. There's this thing called Savior Schnapps, and that's how you're able to save. So if you eat one, it saves the game where you're at, or you could just sleep in a bed, and that also works. But you're not gonna be able to sleep in a bed every time if you're exploring, So these Savior Schnapps really come in handy, and it's suggested to just save it for moments you actually really need. Alright.
Hey.
This is a video, not stream.
Hi, video.
Reputation is local and not global. Like, hold on, I'm gonna have to put that in. Right, somebody like, for example, your reputation in one town does not follow up to your reputation in other towns. If we look at a game like Red Dead Redemption 2, you have a reputation system where if you're good or bad, like it affects how people treat you. But in this game, it's not just like if you're good or bad in one town, everybody in the whole world knows it. No, if you're good and bad in that town, they're gonna treat you depending how you are in that town. The next town over is completely different, which I feel like makes a lot of sense. The witness mechanic: if you commit a crime and no one sees you, you can get away with it until people start noticing, hey, where the hell is my hat at? And if you just leave the witness alone, they'll literally run to the nearest guard. The wanted status will spread for that specific area. Now, with the wanted system, it's different with 2, which I really like. Also, you can either pay off your debt, like if you commit a crime and they catch you, you can pay it off, or fight them off, which isn't really smart. You could also spend time in jail, and after that you get like a little marking, so they physically burn your character on the neck, and it's like an actual like mark that stays there for the rest of the game, which I feel like is so cool. And I don't think I've ever seen like any game like do something like that with that. I just like that. There's time sensitive quests. Not all the quests are time sensitive, but there's some of them, which is a love and hate relationship, because it definitely gets you more immersed, but it could be annoying as well. But I feel like, again, with real life, your mom's like, could you go to the store and get so and so for me? And you're doing that junk next week, like, it's gonna be a problem. If a character tells you, hey, I'm under attack, and you decide to go pick flowers for 2 or 3 days, what do you think is gonna happen? Failing a quest doesn't simply mean game over. It just means the story will adapt, which, it definitely makes it fun for those who want to replay the game. Like for myself, example, in the beginning scene, spoilers, when Henry and the prince are being chased by the bandit, there's a scene where you start fighting off one of the bandits that catch you, and I Loki failed that run. He had beat me somehow. It's a scene that I'm sure was beatable, but after I lost to that, like, we fell off a big ass hill. Somehow my guy survived. But I feel like if I had not lost in that fight, the story would have been slightly different, which kind of intrigues me into wanting to replay that over and, like, redo that. But that's why I also kind of wish, like, if there was at least different modes, like, let's say easy, medium, hard. Like, and then easy mode, you can save any amount of time you want, and medium is like you only get I wish that was a thing, because sometimes I wish I could just save and just come back to that and replay it instead of having to replay the whole game all over again. There is like auto saves and whatnot, which saves in certain missions, but I don't know, I just feel like being able to save on your own would have been way more better for me personally. Again, the game doesn't really hold your hand with everything. The dog companion Mutt has his own leveling tree, like in the last game where there was you had your horse companion, and they also had a leveling tree. He can hunt for food, sniff out interesting sights like treasures and graves. Most importantly, he can act as distraction in combat situations, like biting the ankle of an enemy while you're being ganged up on. Historical authenticity over the rule of cool. For example, in games like Skyrim, there's monsters, there's werewolves, vampires, all that. This game sticks more into the realistic lane. You're not gonna see flying demons. You're not gonna see ground eating demons. It's pretty much you're dropped into that time period, which is the 1400s. We ain't never had no demons and vampires for real, so like, don't expect that in this game. I personally like it, cause I'm not gonna lie, I'm the scared type of gamer. I'm gonna keep it a beam. Skyrim, I don't know how I beat that game, but that jump was low-key scary sometimes, bro. Like, we got demons coming out, and it's like, yo, chill out. So I like just having a peaceful game where I ain't gotta deal with none of that. They are highly skilled humans with very thick armor. It's kind of win-loss situation. The architecture, the castles aren't giant fortresses with bottomless pits. They're cramped, functional wooden and stone structures based on floor plans from the 1400s. You're most likely going to see a lot more of just small, modest towns with their kings and queens in different functions, which is how it was depicted to be back in the day. There's religion in the game. You're able to pray, which actually surprised me. I was playing yesterday and I was able to pray, and it's actual prayers. It's not like you just bow down and it's just silence. He says actual prayers, which is like, damn, bro is praying better than me, and I'm supposed to be the actual Christian. Adds a layer of culture and immersion rarely seen in video games, to be honest. Most of the time you talk to an NPC, they start the conversation with God be with you or good health be with you. You know, just the dialogue is really impressive in this game. The first game eventually added hair via patches, but the second game treats it as a core feature from the jump with expanded styles, dynamic reactions. Like, I'm telling you, the AI system is really impressive, bro. Like, one of the best features in this game, honestly. Now, it's not no RDR tool. Like, you're not gonna grow a big beard, like, over the time of a long period or full length of hair. No, but it still does, you know, you're able to get a little slick cut, you know, and you get a little stylish buff, you know, you looking cool and fresh and whatnot, just like me. And just for how huge this game is, just everything is really impressive. And honestly, this is a game I really hope you guys check out and just a lot more people give a chance to, because it's a really impressive game. Kingdom Come 2 it's not RDR 2, right? But I would say it does a pretty darn good job being as close to RDR 2. Kingdom 2 is estimated to have around a $40 to $45 million budget compared to RDR 2 with a estimated budget of around 370 million to 500 million ish. So that's a huge gap difference, and it's just kind of crazy how almost similar these games are. To me, honestly, I would lean more to Kingdom Come 2 being more realistic than RDR 2. And obviously, I'm not saying it's as good as RDR 2, because obviously there's other things RDR 2 does that Kingdom Come doesn't, but it's still just like, it's very impressive, honestly. What can I say? This game, I'm not gonna lie, it blew me out the park. And this is a game I found out about, I think last year, like early last year, but I found out about it for a little bit now. When I found out about it, I just stumbled onto it. It's not like I saw a YouTube video about it or I've known about it for a minute. PlayStation Plus, and it was just giving out the game. So I'm like, what is this game? And then I clicked on it, downloaded it. I was not even going, I think it was sitting in my folder for like a couple months. I was not going to pay no thought. One day I was bored. I'm like, let me just download this game. And I was blown away for how fun and just how good this game was, genuinely speaking. Like, people sometimes say certain games aren't for everybody. I honestly think, like, if you're trying to find, first of all, a good game, you know, with a good storyline, it's fun, time killer, and it's just mind-blowing. I think this is honestly the game. Like, and it's crazy how it's not as talked about as, well, now it's probably more talked about. You might know about it more because the part 2 release, and that blew people out of the water as well, just as good as 1 was. But I still feel like it's not as talked about as I feel like it should be. Sure, you guys will like it if you try it. But anyways, that's my review for Kingdom Come 2. Great game. I'd give the game honestly a 9.5 out of 10. This game honestly deserves it. And yeah, it's a game I'm highly fond of, and I really hope you guys try it out. Thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know if you have played the game, what you think about it, if you're gonna try the game. You know, just let me know your thoughts. Let me know what games you guys want me to discuss on next, or review, or what movie, because I noticed you guys like the movie reviews lately, so I'm gonna be doing a lot more of that. And if you guys like the game reviews too, I'll do a lot more of that. I'm having fun doing it, and looks like you guys are enjoying it as well, so win-win. I'm gonna catch y'all boys and girls in the next one. Until next time, stop digging in your butt, twin. Toodaleos. Toodle.